Hey everybody. I wanted to kind of share with you a story if that's okay. I just got an email a few days ago, and it was a really long email, and I made the mistake of reading it right before I went to bed because that night I barely slept. So, because the email consisted of telling a story of how this person had been really hurt by a church. And sadly, that story is not uncommon at all, is it? We hear stories about people being hurt and mistreated by a church all the time. I am one of those stories. My wife and I, we've been hurt pretty bad a few times. I could tell you some real doozies. I mean, some really, really good spicy stuff. Why is that the case? And even more importantly, what does God think about all of this? Well, I was reading through the Bible, and I came upon a story when Jesus went to church. It was called a temple back then, and I kind of want to paint you the picture. He enters this area, and it's made up of a bunch of different areas. This church, and so Jesus is in the Gentile court, which is kind of the furthest away, given the idea that that's as close as you're going to get to God, right? Thanks. And everyone's there. It's packed because it's during the Passover. And so people from all over the region and the area were coming here to this particular temple. And so it's crowded and chaotic, and there's marketing happening and debating and auctioning, and it's just loud. And Jesus looks over at one table particularly, and he sees this money changing going on. Because whenever you went to the temple, you had to do two things. The first one is you had to give a temple tax, which was a half a shekel. Now, these people are coming from all different areas, and so they all have different kinds of currency. And so they have to stop at this table to exchange their currency with the correct one, and the people manning the table are taking a nice little sweet commission off the top. So they're getting gouged and being charged admission. Okay? Then he looks over at another table, Jesus does, and he sees that these people are selling this offering. Because the second thing you had to bring, first was a temple tax, and the second was some kind of an offering to God at the temple and give a sacrifice. And so usually that was in the form of 2 white doves. But the problem is you couldn't bring your own, okay? Because if you did, they would probably check them out and see that they weren't fit for sacrifice. They had some kind of blemish, and so they'd make you buy theirs. And theirs happened to be up to 15 times more expensive. So these people are being highly exploited and gouged, and they've been traveling for miles to this place, and so they're tired, and they're empty-handed, and they have empty pockets. And Jesus is looking at the situation, and then I like to believe he looks off to the side. And he's hearing all this chaos and this arguing and bickering and auctioning happening. And he sees off to the side one person trying to pray. And then Jesus just loses it. I mean, he just flips out. He gets so angry at what he sees. It starts turning over tables, the Bible says, and just yelling and throwing everyone out of the temple courts. And at one point, he makes a whip, and he goes Indiana Jones on all these people. I mean, not the current one, but like 10 years ago, Indiana Jones, the good one, the BA one. I mean, that's what's happening in the scene. He just gets so angry. And the two things I see God angered the most by are when innocent people are exploited and when he is not made accessible. Now, I don't know if you can probably relate to the email I got or to some of the many other stories you've probably heard. But I just want you to know that God is angered by many of the things that the church has done. And there's no perfect church out there, including Icon. But we do believe that faith should be simple, authentic, meaningful, and not make us weird. And we invite you to come, and you don't have to bring an offering. You don't have to bring, we're not asking to change your money. We don't want to change you. We just invite you to come and experience God with us. God is accessible to you. On a personal level, I believe the Bible says that the church is not just a building, but it's made up of a bunch of people. And so as a person, I really want God to be seen as accessible, either through what I verbally say or non-verbally. I guess what I mean is I've seen some people communicate God in such a way that they act as if they have everything together and they're perfect and they have no doubts and questions or struggles. And I leave feeling so defeated because I'm not like you. So God must not want anything to do with me. And I'm learning that's not true. Instead, I'm daring to be vulnerable. Our church is daring to be authentic and open and honest. And saying, here we are, our questions and quirks and all, our doubts and struggles. And in doing so, we believe we make God's grace very accessible. And we invite you to experience that with us. So, we meet, next time we meet is Sunday night, November 23rd. It's at 5 p.m. at Blakely Hall Community Center in Issaquah. If you want any details and directions, everything is on our website at iconchurch.com. And if you have any questions for me, anything at all, I'd love to talk with you. And my email is kyle@iconchurch.com as well. So I'm excited to get to know you. I'm excited for you to come and enjoy, experience God with us on this journey full of questions and quirks, doubts and struggles. And as we begin to learn that God is accessible. See you soon.